We just talked about all the information, so let's go ahead and move that into actual problems so we have numbers and everything, so it makes sense. So for example 2, we're going to take all the information we have from example 1 and we're going to make a box and whisker plot. So with that, if you need to go back and put all the numbers into the calculator again and go ahead and make sure we have the all the stuff that we need. Now, all the stuff that you're going to need for this problem are the quartiles, Q1, Q2, Q3. Q2 is the median, so that takes care of that. We need our extreme values. That's our max and our min. So our max and min is what you need. That's our extreme values. We need our interquartile range because that's what we said that that's what we found in Q1, example 1. And then we're going to take all that and we're going to draw the box part. So make our box and whisker plots. So again, if you need to go back and do that part before all this stuff. But if not, then just follow along with me. So I'm going to write down all that stuff that we have here because I'm going to need that to be able to plot it out. So Q1 is 10.5. That's 10.5. Q2, which is the median. So in that list of numbers, the median is Q2. That's 50. And Q3 is 80. That's important. I hope I didn't write too big there, but we'll see. IQR in the quartile range. That's 69.5. The max is 100. And our min is 0. Now, all of that's going to be used to help us to create our box and whisker plot. So here we know our maximum number is 0. We know our max is 100. Our minimum is 0. And then we have all these numbers here. Now, with this, it's up to you how you label your line. You can go by 10s if you want to. You can go by 5s. You can go by 20s. You can go by 50s. But with all of this, you're going to have to just go by a certain increments. But you can't just throw random numbers up there and be like, well, yeah, this is what I'm doing, because it's going to be wrong. So you need to do this in random increments, whatever increments you choose. So here, I'm using increments of 10. So starting at 0, because that's the minimum number, and then go all the way up to 100. And what we're always going to do, what I always want you to do is start at 0 every time. So here on the left side, 0 every time is where you start. And then you're going to go up to whatever the maximum number is. Now with that, again, if you want to go by 10s, go by 10s, 20s, 30s, 50s. It's up to you. It's completely up to you. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start plotting all the information that we have. So we know, first off, Q1 is here, about 10.5, so that's somewhere like right in here. We know Q2 is 50, that's somewhere in here. And we know Q3 is 80, so somewhere it's right here. Now, what we're going to do, as it says up here, we're going to draw a box. So this line right here. Draw a box to show the interquartile range. Remember, interquartile range is between Q1 and Q3. So when we do this, we're going to draw a box between Q1 and Q3. And if you notice what's going on here, we're not drawing this box on the line, on that number line down there. We're drawing it above the number line. So whenever you do this, draw it above the number line, or it's going to be considered wrong because all the other stuff we need to put in here is going to make it look weird, and we're not going to be able to see all the stuff we need to see. Okay, so again, this is Q1 for 10.5. This is Q3, and then in the middle, it says, for this part, draw a segment through the median to divide the box into 2 boxes. So we're going to draw a line through the median here. Even though that's not like directly in the middle of the box, that's the middle of the numbers. When it comes to all the numbers, that's your median. Right? So we have that part. So that's good so far. We're not doing a bad job. We're doing so good. Alright, so we did all that stuff. So now we're going to plot the max and min point. So we're going to plot both of those. So the min point is 0, so put that dot there. The max point is 100, so we put that dot there. Now, before we can actually do anything to connect the whisker or make a whisker from the box to that point, we have to make sure that that point or those points are inside of our good range. We must make sure that it's inside of our good range. So let's go and figure out how to find a good range. So a good range, and let me put this in the middle. Good range. We're always going to have to do this part. We do Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. And we're going to have to do Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. So this is one of the reasons why you need to make sure you have all that stuff written down, because we need to fill stuff in. So we know from up top, when all the numbers we wrote down, Q1 is 10.5 minus 1.5, that's originally there. And it's always going to be 1.5 every time, always 1.5 there. And interquartile range is 69.5. And again here, always 1.5. Never would change. It's always 1.5. So you don't have to ask me about that. Is that going to happen every time? It's going to always be that. All right, so then the other one is 80 plus 1.5 times 69.5. Right, and then all we do is put that in the calculator and find your answers. So put that in, the first one in, you get negative 93.75. And then we have on the right side 184.25. Okay, so we have both of those. That's our good range, from negative 93.75 to 184.25. And here we're going to put that up here. So we're going to draw a line to show what our interquartile range is. Our good range, sorry. So somewhere over here, and we're going to make sure you put the number here also. So we're going to know what that line is that we drew. So that's negative 93.75, somewhere on that far side. And then somewhere over here, it's going to be 184.25. And with these, that's our good range. So anything inside of there, that means it's okay. So if these extreme values here are actually in that good range, we're good. We just draw a whisker from the box to that point. And in this one, it is inside the good range. So let's draw the whisker to that point. And we're done. That's it. So again, you need all these values here. All these parts here, you need this. You need to be able to plot everything out on the whisker. And then we go ahead and do all this here. Plot the max and the min point. Find your good range. And then put all that on there to make sure that we can have our whiskers in the right spot. All right, so that's going to be the same process every time.